This morning, I came into the office and saw the hour, and was surprised to find that we had a problem, or that what we might have had was a problem. And so I was concerned, and I reached out to the Director of Public Works and the Highway Superintendent, as well as the Police Chief, and wanted to make sure that we did everything possible to investigate this situation, because I believe that we owe the public an explanation, and I want to make sure that we give them an explanation. So a couple of things that we did. We had the highway superintendent and crew go down to the beach and put an application of the brine on the ground, exactly matching what they did yesterday. And then we had test runs driven over that to make sure that, to see if there was any slipping and sliding. We had Lieutenant Bennett from the police department take his vehicle. We had the highway superintendent take his vehicle. And they can talk about it, but they went between 40 and 55 miles an hour and tried to swerve, and they jammed on their brakes to see if there was any sliding and slipping, to see how that would be. And we also wanted to make sure that we did it at a time similar to the application from yesterday, so all conditions would be as similar as possible. Beyond that, we also want to make sure that we're going to be ensuring that the application was consistent with acceptable guidelines, to make sure that and all that is recorded on the trucks, and we have that information available. The other thing we did, we're reaching out to the Connecticut State Police, because they do that application on city roads that are like Route 1 and Route 53. They put those applications on city roads. They also do it on I-95, and I want to make sure or see from them if they have had similar complaints of slipping and sliding or increased numbers of accidents during that time. And we're also reaching out to the state police to ask their accident reconstruction team to work with our accident reconstruction person, looking at the details of the accident. It's a little bit difficult to do that after the accident has already occurred, but we're just going to see if they can make any determination whatsoever as to anything that might have contributed to the accidents, and especially the one on East Avenue. We're also suspending the use of the brine for now until we can make these determinations. We want to make sure that we're doing everything safely and making sure that we don't, that we're providing for the public safety, and that's really important to us.
There have been, in previous years, every once in a while we would get a call that somebody had slipped after we had done a pre-treatment. But as the mayor just said, if you're right behind the truck, or reasonably short time behind the truck, and it's wet and hasn't dried yet, it can be like driving on rain. But again, it's like to your question before the press conference began, Harold, it doesn't put down a sheet of liquid on the roadway. You have little tracks, okay? So there's clear pavement in between. And then that's one of the reasons that we did the test this morning and tried to do it in as close a conditions as the conditions were yesterday morning when we began the pre-treatment process, in advance of the anticipated snowfall that was supposed to occur last night.
I drove on both treated surface and non-treated surface, and there was a difference, but a minor difference. It was not significant. I was trying to make the car lose control, and I was able to retain control at all times. The most significant difference was going from a stop and accelerating too fast. If I accelerated too fast, the tires would spin, but the car remained in my control. Braking had minimal difference. Trying to get the car to fishtail, almost could not do it unless I really had the speed up and made an abrupt.
And explain how fast you were going too.
And I had tried it at 25 to 30 miles an hour, which would be about the speed in that area of East Avenue where this accident occurred. But we are also up to speeds of